The Meaning of Life, Reflections on Existence, Purpose, and Happiness. Since the dawn of humanity, this question has echoed across different cultures, eras, and traditions. What is the meaning of life? The search for the meaning of human existence is one of the oldest and most complex questions, explored by philosophy, religion, and science. Although each perspective offers different answers, there is a common conclusion: life does not have a single universal meaning. It is a journey to discover meanings and build purposes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more reflections and inspiring content. This way, you stay updated and help the community grow. The origin of the search for meaning. For many, the search for meaning arises from the confrontation with our mortality. Realizing that our existence is limited awakens questions about what truly matters. This questioning can be distressing, but it can also be transformative, as it leads us to explore what makes us feel alive, complete, and fulfilled. It is natural that, throughout life, people ask themselves, "What am I doing here?" This inquiry is not just about a philosophical or abstract sense, but also a personal search for a meaningful life. Many seek answers in their own experiences, in connections with others, or even in the attempt to leave a mark on the world. Philosophical views on the meaning of life. Philosophy is one of the richest fields for studying the meaning of life, approaching it from multiple perspectives and methods. Generally, classical and modern philosophical schools have different ways of understanding this question, often contradictory to each other. Below, we highlight some influential views and approaches on the meaning of life. Existentialism, life without intrinsic meaning. Existentialism, a philosophical movement that gained prominence in the 20th century with figures like Jean-Paul Sartre, Simone de Beauvoir, and Albert Camus, argues that life has no intrinsic meaning. For existentialists, we live in an indifferent universe, and if there is any meaning, it is not given to us automatically or divinely. Thus, it is up to us to create or invent our own purpose. Sartre, for example, asserts that existence precedes essence. This means that we are born without a predetermined purpose, and that, throughout life, we create our identity through our choices and actions. This understanding offers freedom, but can also bring anguish, as when confronted with the vastness and lack of external meaning, we realize that it is up to us to create our path. Camus, on the other hand, explores the concept of the absurd in his work, The Myth of Sisyphus. He proposes that the search for meaning in a world that does not offer us answers is an effort akin to the myth of Sisyphus, a character from Greek mythology, who was condemned to roll a stone up a mountain, only to see it roll back down every time. For Camus, accepting the absurd and living without a definitive answer is a form of freedom. He suggests that instead of despairing, we should find joy and purpose in the very acts of living. Stoicism, the meaning in living in harmony with nature. Stoicism, which flourished in ancient Greece with philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, offers a very different view from existentialism. The Stoics believed that the meaning of life lies in living in harmony with nature and serenely accepting what is beyond our control. According to Stoicism, virtue, that is, living a life of integrity, rationality, and wisdom, is the true purpose of human existence. Stoic philosophy is guided by the idea that, although we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions and attitudes towards them. Seneca, for example, argued that a purposeful life is one lived according to virtue and reason, valuing self-control and acceptance of what we cannot change. For the Stoics, the true meaning of life lies in the ability to accept circumstances without despair, finding peace in an attitude of active resignation and preparation to face reality. This philosophy has been revived in modern times, particularly amid the growing interest in mental well-being practices and emotional resilience. Nihilism, the denial of meaning. Nihilism is a philosophical current that asserts that life has no intrinsic meaning or value. Friedrich Nietzsche is often associated with nihilism, although he had a complex and ambiguous view on the subject. For him, nihilism is the realization that traditional values and meanings have lost their strength in a world increasingly disbelieving in absolute truths, especially those offered by religion and conventional morality. Nietzsche saw nihilism as a necessary phase, but one that needed to be overcome. Instead of accepting absolute emptiness, he proposed the idea of the Übermensch, or Superman, a human being who creates their own meaning and establishes their own values, overcoming the limitations of traditional morality. For Nietzsche, instead of lamenting the absence of a given purpose, we should embrace the freedom to create our own values and live authentically. Utilitarianism and consequentialism, the meaning in the pursuit of collective happiness. Utilitarianism, a philosophical current advocated by philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, proposes that the meaning of life lies in the pursuit of maximizing collective happiness and well-being. For utilitarians, actions that promote the greatest good for the greatest number of people are the ones that hold value. This approach is more pragmatic and places the meaning of life in terms of practical outcomes. Our existence gains purpose when we contribute to the well-being and happiness of society. John Stuart Mill, for example, argued that the meaning and ethics of life are found in altruism and empathy, seeking ways to improve the quality of life for those around us. This approach suggests that a meaningful life is one in which we minimize suffering and maximize collective happiness and well-being. Humanism, human dignity as the center of existence. Humanism, as a philosophical perspective, places the human being at the center of ethical and existential reflection, based on the appreciation of human dignity and autonomy. Humanism holds that life has meaning to the extent that we promote the development of our potential and contribute to the well-being of humanity. This view emphasizes the importance of empathy, cooperation, and respect for individual freedoms. Humanism is an optimistic approach that recognizes our capacity to build a more just and dignified world through conscious and responsible action. For humanists, the meaning of life lies in valuing the human experience itself and contributing to the progress of society. Conclusion on philosophical views. Each of these philosophical schools offers a distinct way of understanding and constructing meaning in our lives, while existentialism challenges us to embrace the freedom and responsibility of creating our own meaning. Stoicism and humanism propose that a meaningful life is rooted in virtue, wisdom, and human dignity. Nihilism confronts us with the void, but also with the opportunity to fill that void in an authentic and powerful way. And utilitarianism suggests that our life has meaning when it is dedicated to collective well-being. Philosophy, therefore, shows us that the meaning of life is a construction that depends on both reflection and action. Each person can find the most satisfying answer by choosing the perspective that best aligns with their values and circumstances, creating a life rich in purpose and authenticity. The meaning of life in religions. Religions offer distinct views, generally based on the belief in a higher or divine force. In Christianity, for example, the meaning of life is closely linked to the relationship with God and the pursuit of salvation and love for others. Buddhism, on the other hand, proposes that life is a path of overcoming suffering and the ego, leading to nirvana, a state of peace and enlightenment. Hinduism teaches that life is a spiritual journey through the cycle of rebirths, and that the purpose lies in fulfilling one's dharma, moral duty, contributing to the balance of the universe. In general, religions offer a set of values and guidelines, helping people find a greater purpose that transcends their own existence. The role of science and psychology. Modern science and psychology also address this question, albeit from a more practical perspective. Positive psychology, for example, encourages people to find meaning and purpose through personal fulfillment, engagement in activities that promote happiness, and healthy interpersonal relationships. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning, developed logotherapy, a therapeutic approach that argues that the deepest human desire is the search for meaning, especially in the face of suffering. Science, by uncovering the mysteries of the universe, helps put our existence into perspective. Although it cannot provide a definitive meaning to life, it makes us reflect on our role in the cosmos, leading us to value existence and the mystery of consciousness. The meaning of life in contemporary times. In modern society, where materialism and individualism are widely promoted, many people feel an existential void. The pursuit of success, wealth, and fame often does not bring lasting satisfaction, but rather a sense of incompleteness. For many, the meaning of life seems to lie more in the small daily joys and bonds of affection than in great achievements or external accomplishments. Today, many find purpose in activities that benefit others and the planet, such as volunteering, sustainability, and social activism. The awareness that our actions have an impact on the world and future generations makes us think about our collective role. The meaning of life, then, may lie in the effort to make the world a better place, creating your own meaning. If there is no definitive and universal answer, each of us must construct our own meaning of life. For some, it may lie in family and personal relationships. For others, in the pursuit of knowledge, contributing to society or spiritual development. This search for meaning is individual and dynamic, and it can change over time. The meaning of life can be found by valuing the present moment and cultivating gratitude, as suggested by Eastern philosophy. Instead of seeking something grand or transcendent, we can find purpose in the small actions that bring us peace and happiness. Learning to live with empathy, gratitude, and curiosity is, for many, a path to meaning. Final reflection. Life as a journey. Perhaps the meaning of life is not found in a final answer, but in the journey of seeking itself. As we live, we learn, experience, love, suffer, and celebrate. This constant experience of discovery and transformation is what makes life meaningful. In the end, the meaning of life can be found by living authentically, making choices that bring us closer to what truly matters to us. It is a personal journey full of uncertainties and challenges, but also of growth and fulfillment. By recognizing our ability to create meaning in our own lives, we discover that the meaning of life is perhaps more of an open question than a fixed answer. Did you enjoy the reflection on the meaning of life? Leave your like and share your opinion in the comments. Let's talk about what truly gives meaning to our existence. What is the meaning of life for you?